What's up guys, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be taking the weather data that we got from our last tutorial and we're going to be adding it to our HTML page. If you haven't watched the last tutorial that I posted, I highly recommend you do. In that tutorial we got weather data such as a summary, which is just describing the day in terms of its weather. Also got minimum temperature, we got maximum temperature, and then we also got the hourly data. So yeah, if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend you do. But I'll also be putting what we've done so far in the project and on a GitHub page. So I'll make sure I link that in the description. Cool. Let's head over to our project, refresh the page, see what we got. Cool. So let's see what we need to get. We need to get the current day's temperature and put it over there. We need an icon, we need the hour, and we also need the temperature, obviously. Then for weekly weather, we need to get the day, an icon, the minimum temperature, and then as well as the maximum temperature. So the first thing we're going to sort out is actually the icon. So let's head over to our home.html and check this icon out. So right now, as you can see, that it's just an image in our images folder. But however, we're going to change that, and instead of using images stored in our project, we're going to be using embedded HTML, which will be much easier to work with and much more flexible. So head over to icons 8 and search rain, because it's just going to be the first icon that we're going to get. And then just get this first one over here. And then go to embedded HTML, and all we have to do is copy this text in here, replace it with this image tag over here, and this one over here for the hourly temperature, paste it in. Cool. Now when we refresh it, we obviously see that the icons changed. However, they're different color to the text. So let's change that quick. So right click on the text, go inspect, and over here we should see the color for the text, and we want the icon to be the same color. So we can just see hashtag 888. Cool. So back in home.html, if we look at our icon here, so this 50 over here indicates the actual size of the icon, so 50 pixels. This over here is the hex code, which is just black at the moment. And this over here is the name of the icon. So let's change this to 6/8. So it's the same color as the text. And while we add it, let's just change the size to 36. I think that'll make it look a bit cleaner. 36. And then add your 6/8 in here. Refresh that. Cool. Just what we wanted. You see, now we see the icons the exact same color as the text. So let's go grab a few other icons. Oops. We're gonna need clouds. Not that one. Let's just go with this one over here. And when you're selecting your icons, make sure they're all on iOS over here. Just because this sort of icon will look the best on our web page that we're using. So all you need to do is copy the name, because the rest of this image tag is going to stay the exact same. The only thing that's going to be changing is the name. because we don't want icons with different sizes and different colors, obviously. So just open your notepad or whatever, paste it in there. Type in sun, because we want a sun to indicate like a clear day or something. Embedded HTML. Copy that. And then the last one we want is partly cloudy. And this one over here. Cool. So that's all the icons we're going to use. Let's head back to our text editor. So back here in our text editor, just head over to views.py, and the first thing we're going to sort out is tell in the program what icon to use, depending on the summary. So in case you don't know what I'm going on about, for the summary, we're just going to print it here so you got a clear picture of what we're actually trying to achieve here. So just type in sum, and it's this sum over here. Save that. Fresh. Oh, wrong one. My bad. Cool. So now we see weekly weather, and this is the summary right here. So light rain and humid throughout the day. We would probably want just a rain icon for this one. Possible light rain, maybe a partly cloudy or rain icon. Humid and partly cloudy throughout the day. Then we would want a partly cloudy icon. So that's what I mean when I say, according to the summary, we want to get the appropriate icon and display it on our HTML page. Cool. So you don't want to print out the results, so take that away. And first thing we're going to do is create a variable called pick and set it equal to that. Then underneath that, we're going to create a summary variable, and we're going to make that summary equal to sum, and say dot format 2 stars and then day. And let's actually put this thing in lower. So irrespective if there's capitals or not, it wouldn't matter because we just lowercase the whole string. Cool. So first if statement we're going to have is if drizzle in summary pick equals rain, if rain in summary then pick equals rain, sorry, rain.png if I remember correctly. And then we're going to say if cloudy in summary, then pick equals clouds.png. If you're wondering where I'm getting these names from, it's just these names over here. And then the rain.png, I think that's what it's called. It's this one over here. And then we're going to say if clear in summary, then pick equals sun dot png. The last one, if partly cloudy in summary, then pick equals, then the name of the partly cloudy one, which is this one. Cool. So that's that. So let me explain what's actually happening here. We check in if a certain word is in the summary. So if, let's say if rain is in the summary, so we scroll up here quick. So if we look at this one, light rain in the morning, we see rain is indeed in the summary, so we'll use the rain icon. We see over here that partly cloudy is in the summary, so then this if statement will take place. If partly cloudy in summary, yes it is indeed, so the icon would be partly cloudy. Okay, so now that we got the correct icon corresponding with the summary, now it's time to add all the values that we have here, the temp min, the temp max, and the picture, add them to a dictionary so that we can loop through that dictionary in our template. So first things first, let's create a dictionary and call it weekly_weather. And then underneath this, we're going to want to say weekly_weather.update so that we update the dictionary each time this loop runs. And inside here, we're going to have a dictionary within a dictionary. So over here, put day as the key, and then say .format, and then put 2 stars here, and then say day, just like that. And then over here, we want to create another dictionary. First key we want to add is the temp min with the value temp min dot format, and 2 stars day. So let's speed up this process a little bit. Just copy and paste this. So we're going to have temp min. We also want temp max. With the key temp max. And then our last one is just going to be the picture. So we're going to have a key called pic, and it's going to have a value called pic. This variable right here is going to go in this value right there. This curly braces shouldn't be there. So yeah, this is how it should look, I think. Yeah, looks good. Now head down your page, and over here we want to add in our dictionary so that we can use it in our template. So say weekly_weather, and then with the value of weekly_weather, we call in the dictionary that we just created over here. Great. So now let's go into home.html. And if we go to our weekly weather, and we look at this div over here. Now this is a div we want to use in our for loop, repeating this div over and over, just changing the values for each iteration of the for loop. So with template tagging, we're going to say for key, comma, value in weekly underscore weather, just the name of your dictionary, and in our case it's weekly underscore weather dot items. So all this is doing is looping through all the items within the dictionary that we just created. And don't forget your n4. Cool. So first thing we're going to do is change this, and we're going to make this equal to the key. Because remember, in views.py, when each time we updated weekly.weather, weekly underscore weather, the key over here was indeed the day. So that's why we must add in the key here, because it's a day. And then over here for the icon, we want to say value.pick. For the max temp, it looks like the max temp, we want to add value.temp max, and then the same one for the min temp, value.temp min. Now let's head over to our browser, refresh the page. Got an error, let's see what it is. Format, must have spelled something wrong in the views.py. Let's head over there. Format, yes. Sorry about that. Great. So let's click on week here. And just what we wanted. We got the day, the correct icon, and then the min, and then the max temperature for that day. Now let's change a few things. So instead of having the abbreviated form of the day, I think it'll look better if we have it out in full. And for the temperature, let's have it rounded off so we don't have a float value. So let's change the day by going over here, and instead of having a small a here, let's have a capital A, so it says it in full. We're also going to want to round off these values, so add a round here. Temp max equals round. So now, if we refresh our page, and head over to week, we see all our days are out in full just like we want, and all our temperatures are rounded off. So if we head over to week, look at the values, we see that the days are indeed out in full just like we want, and then the temperatures are rounded off nicely in degrees Fahrenheit. So weekly weather data is all sorted out, just what we want. Now let's go on to our hourly weather data. Okay, so back in our text editor, just like before with the weekly underscore weather, we're going to create a dictionary for the hourly data. Call it hourly underscore weather. Now, if we move back down here, instead of printing the results here, we're going to want to update the hourly underscore weather dictionary. So we're going to say hourly underscore weather dot update, and then in brackets, just like with the other dictionary, we're going to have a dictionary within a dictionary. The key over here is going to be hour. Put the value there, hour. Over here, we're going to have a dictionary as well. We're going to say pick here, make value pick, comma, and then we're going to have temp. And the value over here is going to be temp. So we still need to make quite a few changes. So the only thing we got so far is the temp. We still need to get the hour. So we do have the hour over here, but over here it's just as a number. And we want to save it as not a number, we want to save it as 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. So it's not an integer, but a string rather. So let's create a new variable, call it hour underscore, set that equal to that. If hour is greater than 12, then hour underscore equals then hour underscore is going to equal to the hour, and then over here we're going to say AM. There. Over here we're going to say, and I spelled this wrong again, oh my goodness. So I'm not sure, but over in here we're going to say hour minus 12. Like, I'm not sure if this will work, but the reason I'm doing hour minus 12, so we're only going to say hour minus 12 when it's greater than 12. Because when hour is less than 12, it's what we want, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., but as soon as it goes greater than 12, it'll go to 13, and we don't want 13 p.m. or 14 p.m. because that doesn't make sense. We want 1 p.m., 2 p.m., so we just need a minus 12 there. Okay, so hours done, we got temp, now let's get pick. So let's just copy and paste this quick. Put it over there. Make the indentation right. Cool, once you've done that, ideally you would want to put in a function, but this would also work, just takes up a bit more space. We actually haven't got a summary yet, so let's say summary over here equals location dot hourly, and then we put in I over here, and we say dot summary. Just like we said dot temperature over here, we're just going to say dot summary. I think that's correct. Let's just look here. Yeah, day dot summary. So we're going to use hourly dot summary dot lower, and then that shouldn't be there. Cool. Let's give that a run, see if it works. Hour. Sorry, my bad. This key over here is just meant to be hour, like that. Oops. Because originally I was putting a key and a value, but this should only be a key for this dictionary over here. So refresh that. Cool. So it's given no errors, so that's a good sign. Now let's add our hourly weather in here. Hourly underscore weather. We say hourly underscore weather. Spell that right quick. Cool. Now head over to your home.html page, and just like we did for this, we're going to do for the hourly weather. So here's the div we're working with. Let's loop with that. We're going to say for key comma value, just like the last one, in hourly underscore weather, the name of the dictionary we're using, dot items, and don't forget to n4 at the end of the div. Over here, should say end for. Over here, we're going to want to put the key, because the key is equal to the hour. Over here, we're going to want to put value dot pick, and over here, we're going to want to put value dot temp. Let's refresh this. Now if we scroll down a bit, look over here, we got the hour all the way up until 11 o'clock tonight. As you can see, where I'm at the moment, it's 6:34 p.m. So it's not exactly what we want. We don't want 18, we want it 6 p.m. But at least the icons are working nicely, temperature's working nicely. Let's just fix up this hour quick. So I think the error is coming in over here when the key is just hour, but we want it hour underscore. Cool. Just what we want. I actually saw this error now, I just forgot to change it. PM. I just had them both as AM, which was my bad. Just let's change it to PM quick. Great. Just what we want, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Perfect. Working 100%, just what we want. Weekly weather, just like we want. So what we're going to be doing now is fixing up these if statements over here, just to make it a bit better. So ultimately we'll have an icon to show. 1, 2, 3 final. So what we're going to be doing now is fixing up these if statements, adding an else statement at the end, and making these if statements in between the first if and the else elif statements. So just make this elif, next one as well, next one as well, and this one as well. And then we're going to want to add an else statement at the end. This is just ensuring that there will always be an icon to display. So the app will never not display an icon. So say pic equals clouds.png. and over here you want to say this. So it's running through each of statements, and if none of these requirements are met, then it would display the clouds icon. Great. So that's what we want. Copy this and then paste it by the hourly weather data over here. And fix up the indentation quick. So just a quick insert over here. I actually forgot to add the current day weather. So this is a code for it. Just make sure you copy it down. What we're doing is we're taking the first item within this dictionary over here, and we're adding it to the variable called today. Then we're going to be deleting it, because for the weekly weather we don't want to show today's weather in it. We want to show the next day's weather and then for a week onwards. That's why we're deleting the first item, because it's the current day weather. And then head over to your home.html, and then over here you would say today.tempmax. So the next thing we're going to be doing is changing our degrees Celsius symbol to a degrees Fahrenheit symbol, just because all our weather data on our app is in degrees Fahrenheit. So just a quick side note, in the next clip you're going to see the temperature in degrees Celsius. That's because I only remembered after I filmed it, so I just added that clip in afterwards. Cool. So once you've done that, click there. Once that's loaded, you can see that the weather is indeed updated, and then the city names over there. We can see the hourly weather data. Right now it's 8 o'clock, so it's correct. And then we see the next day and onwards for about a week. Cool. So that's all for this tutorial. Make sure you stick around for the next one, where we're going to be retrieving the user's current location, and from that location we're going to be retrieving the weather data.